In Onshape, you can use display states to toggle between the visibility states of different instances in your assembly. And this can also facilitate top-down design when you are creating part studios in context. So let's take a look at that. Here I have an assembly open. There are quite a few instances you can see inside of it with the transparency applied. Let me get out of the transparency. I already have a couple of display states created, so let me show you how I can toggle between them. I will click on the display states command. It opens up the dialog box. From this drop-down list, I can toggle between the ones I've already created. For example, I have one for external components, and you can see that some of the components were turned off. And I also have one for just the interior components. And so this can make it easier when I'm trying to do different design tasks. But let me close out of here, and I'm going to make everything visible again. And so if you want to create your own display states, you'll start off by turning the visibility of different instances on or off. And so let me show you an example. I'm going to start by turning off the display of everything. Let me select all of these, and then I am going to choose hide. And for the work that I am going to do, let's see, I need to see my crankshaft assembly. Let me also go to the cylinder head assembly. I'm going to make it visible, but then expand it and then hide a bunch of things in here. Let me use the shift key to select and then hide them. And so let's say that this is how I want to work on things. I will now click on the display states command. And then up here, I can type in a new name for this. And I will call this my mechanism. And then I can hit the plus sign or hit the enter key. And now I have that available from the drop-down list. You can also modify your existing display states. So let me go back to the external one, and I decide that I also want to make another one of the components visible. Let me expand the cylinder block and then show the water inlet component. And this is good for the modifications. Then I will click on this icon, which will update the display state. You can see that it is notified to me in the graphics area. You can also change the names with the pencil icon, and you can also remove a display state by using the X icon. But this is good. I mentioned that you can use this to facilitate top-down design. So I've got these different components visible from this display state. At this point, I can click on the icon to create a part studio in context, and then it opens up a dialog box asking for the origin of the part studio. I'll just pick the origin right out of the instances list. Let's click the check mark, and now I have my new part studio created. You can see that those different components that were in the display state are now visible in a transparent fashion. And so at this point, if I created any geometry and made any parts, I could click on the insert and go to assembly button, but I haven't done that. Let me just hop back to the assembly tab. And so I'm back into this display state. Let me switch over to one of my other ones and then close out of here. And so that's how you can use display states in order to manage the visibility of different instances in your assembly and easily switch back and forth between them.